Hey guys, welcome to the grand finals of the Free Fire Grind tournament. My name is Iro, and joined by me is none other than Zeno. Going to be co-casting and taking us through the evening. Welcome, Zeno. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's great to be back, coming back to the finals. It is going to be an insane number of games today. Looking at the number of teams, the 12 teams that will be competing, I genuinely cannot predict what this game will be like. It's going to be 6 maps. So, Ira, what do you think? Taking a look at this early, what do you think your top three is going to be?
Coming into this tournament over here, where we had multiple weeks of competing against each other, when we're looking at the overall standings and so forth, it looks like competitive, but at the same time, when we looked at the last one over there, the way it was just set out over the competitive field was insane. But I mean, like looking over at the players, just try esports, potentially could come through. Fearless and Sons. I don't know. I don't want to put in a commentator curse on any of these top three teams, and then we have we have Brothers SA taking the cup for example. So honestly, it all comes down through to how the first three games are going to be. Then maybe I want to start to keep looking at predictions and start looking at what the consistency is going to be like. For most of these guys, they probably never played in the same week. They could have probably played on different groups as well when it was super stacked. But coming into it, we have now the 12 confirmed overall teams that will be competing in the Free Fire tournament. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, what we're looking at is going to be a 12,000 Rand prize pool. First taking home 6,000 Rand, second taking home 3,000 Rand, third being 1,800, and fourth being 1,200. This is an upgraded prize pool from the guaranteed 10,000 Rand. As you guys know, it was an opportunity to earn an extra 5,000 on that prize pool, but we didn't get to hit all the mechanics. The only mechanic that was hit was the checked-in teams over 4 weeks, and that meant a 2,000 Rand bonus was added. So we're sitting at a total 12,000 Rand that these Free Fire players are going to be competing in for the ACGL grind and the Free Fire tournament.
Alrighty then, that is going to be what the prize pool definitely, and I can't wait to see what the players have in store for us with today's games. Like I already said, after 3 maps, we will be trying to give our own predictions based on what we see from the players. But so far, it has been absolutely insane weeks coming into this, making it all the way to the finals here. These 12 teams, most of them have played against each other every week. Most of them have never played against each other in this tournament. But let's see how these players react to each other's gameplay. Are we going to get early battles? Are we going to have a slow-paced game? I really hope we have more of a fast-paced, action-packed game than the slow one. But the slow-paced games usually give us like insane end zones. So can't wait to see what map 1 has in store for us.
Well, Zeno, you left me on one of the weeks, and I think you owe me 3 games, so I'm just going to be silent, and you're going to have to carry the entire casting.
I got you.
But in that week, the 3 games did go by super quick. The only reason why that happened was there was action galore, man. It was super fun, super exciting to see what these Free Fire players can do, especially in qualifying rounds where they're dropping 18, 19 kills in the games and so forth. But coming into grand finals, obviously the stakes are a lot higher. You're not just now playing for a grand final position. You're playing for 12,000 Rand at share. And that means that, we can't go bloodbath into tournaments. But last season, we did look at bloodbath moments where there were 20 bombs being dropped, where there's absolutely no stopping. And then even going into the final game, they didn't launch in as a full squad. So sometimes confidence can win in these moments. But grand finals, 12,000 Rand, and as well as the ACGL grind title is at hand. And ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 is officially on the way, where these players played 6 weeks of gameplay to come through here and now finally compete for their share of 12,000 Rand. Let's look at where this is going. We're going over Mars Electric all the way through to Bullseye. That's the plane route, and we can see what this means for some of these guys.
a bunch of the teams will be dropping off early. Is that the best strategy? It might be actually, because you get early loot, you most likely will not get an off drop battle because no one's going to want to risk fighting. You've fought multiple weeks, you've made it all the way to grand finals. You're not going to want to get eliminated early because it's only 6 matches that will be played, and those matches go by really quick. Really, really quick. So if you mess up and get eliminated early with 0 eliminations, it is genuinely going to hurt your standings by a lot. Unless you're going to drop an insane amount of kills in the next couple of matches consistently, you do not want to take an off-rip battle. But as a caster, I hope you take an off-rip battle because please, we need the action, we need the engagement. It looks like NB will lose 1 already. Are not looking good for them. Disney will be taking a lot of damage as well. They have 1 man eliminated.
1 man eliminated very early. Still potential buybacks that could come through. And RB here. And right now, Dennis with Suspito and as well as LZ, I think, they're still very much comfortable. So much loot and potential buyback that could come in very, very soon. 44 players on the map inside of the arena. And we also do have God Aaron, who's also gone down on the other side of the sort of 4v4 situation that we have at hand.
Outlaw Noobs are a pretty strong team, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
They get back with teammate, but we have Darky being the last man standing for his team. It's not looking good for them as he might just be getting eliminated. This buy point at Plantation is it has a lot of foot traffic, so doesn't usually house a team, but there's usually always a team lurking in that general area. He manages to sneak the res, but is he going to last any bit of time if he stays there longer than that res? Because that res is definitely going to be like a beacon to the other teams. Just seeing someone fall from the sky, they're going to try to fall on their teammates, and that could be an easy wipe for you. Another player will be getting eliminated, leaving us with 45 players left to go, only 2 minutes into this game.
Right now, good height position here from Sharon, managing to deal some damage across, and as well as now focusing other opponents. Xylo and them are also in a good position over here, using the blue wall to sort of get some natural coverage or something over there. But right now for Sharon, I think if he stays at the very heighted position and keeps the bird's eye view over his opponents, he should be in a good position right now. Oh, I say good position, but he gets taken down by LZ. And you can see now the return in knock or damage also coming out from Leonox.
Unlucky for Sharon there, but insane work from his teammates to get that buyback back. He get that buyback rather immediately. He barely got to even spectate. And how will they respond to it? They get first knock on All-Stars. They get the second knock on the All-Stars. All-Stars will take down 1 as well. It is looking great for the All-Stars as they can get that. It's not looking great for the All-Stars. I read that wrong. They got 2 of them rushing in and getting absolutely eliminated there.
Oof, not the best way to start is they still should have 1 or 2 players in their team.
I think they should still have 2 players just absolutely trying to get those revives in, because going out early is not it. And speaking of going out early, ITEL Esports will be the first team to be getting fully eliminated. They will be bowing out with 3 eliminations. Unlucky for them. But at least they didn't bow out with 0. They have 5 more games to try to gather as many points to put them into that top 4 position, because losing out of 12,000 rand is definitely going to hurt.
It is definitely.
Iro and I are supposed to be in this lobby, but the dev said we had to just chill. Someone has to commentate.
Besides that, we're too good. So even if we haven't played together, we would win. No, I'm joking. I've never even played FreeFire in my life.
I used to be a FreeFire sweat. My goodness.
FreeFire sweat. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to grind all the way to like top 500 leaderboard.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, that was peak grinding.
Well, you hear, what they say about commentators? It just didn't work out in competitive. Welcome to.
No, I never went competitive.
Okay.
I almost went competitive though. No, because I switched to PC and they don't let PC play competitive, and I was like, I'll just commentate.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But
Honestly,
we are
the
back.
mechanics
Yeah.
and gameplay on Free Fire is really good though.
Yeah, and it keeps getting better. Some things need to go back to the way they were, but some of the new things just compensate, and you just forget that this is how the game was before. So every season, not even on the competitive side, just as a general player, it feels fresh and it feels new. Sometimes you're gonna get annoyed by the character nerfs and character changes, but that's normal for every game.
Normal for every
And
game, but not normal right now is the action displayed on screen in a mid-game fight with the likes of Leonox and his teammates right here, pushing in very aggressively. It's going to be Shido Sox Ray with a good shotgun attack on the opponent, but he is going to get taken down by God Aaron. And now Leonox are now focusing on other opposition players, but 2 players from this team have gone down. And just what could happen, Sharon at distance trying to do something, but he can't do anything. It's down to Leonox, and he's glued up over here, but it's not going to help as he gets eliminated and taken out. And that is so unfortunate. Very early here, second team to be meeting the desk and going back to the lobby.
So far, 2 teams have been eliminated. The Outlaw Noobs are standing strong. Just like I said earlier, they are a strong team. Are they going to be able to hold out, especially on a big stage like this? Because they've competed on big stages as well, but they tend to have a problem finishing when it comes to the finals. Can they break that curse today and give us a very glorious top 3 position, or top 1 even? But a lot of the team, every team here actually deserves to get that top 1 position, because you fought for multiple weeks. This was a 5-week split. They fought for 5 weeks to get here. So I think everyone needs to leave with at least something.
Honestly, and also just, saying you're the top 12 best teams in Africa, because that's also an understatement that comes from this, is over the 5 weeks you've managed to stay consistent and show up every week to find yourself in the top 12. Now, going into it, however, the overall standings, Outlaw Noobs finished in 5th place as the top 12 teams going into that 5-week grind. What could have happened over the weeks that brought them 5th? Is there more potential that could come out from Outlaw Noobs? We'll have to wait and see exactly what that means for them. But when we're looking at it now, Niger Esports, if I'm not mistaken, this is them, right?
All Stars, ASN. That's name Jogo.
Okay. Some good eliminations coming in.
Namjogo will be sitting with 3 eliminations so far. Are they going to be able to pick up more? Because Namjogo is known to be a powerhouse team, as they usually just rack up a boatload of eliminations, but their problem as well is finishing in 1st place. When they're playing qualifiers, they usually tend to place high, but when they get closer, like semis and finals, it tends to hit them hard. That everyone here is almost as experienced, if not more experienced, as they are. So finding that end game luck is really in their favor.
And that's it, right? Battle Royale is always going to be based on RNG and based on luck. When we're looking at it, it's so randomized. The zone pools are so randomized. What loot you pick up is so randomized. So it's all based on luck, and you could find yourself in a open field, but you're the only team with natural cover, and it makes it so much more easier in terms of surviving to the very end. Or you're going to be one of the teams that doesn't pull zone, and you don't have the hill climb or the natural height in play, and that might find you suffering. So it's about luck, and as well as skill. I think it's a 50-50 on terms of skill and luck.
That is true, to be honest. That is true, because you could land, and 2 teams can land in one spot, and only one team will get decent enough weapons to go into a proper fight and actually win that. And sometimes some players just have insane aim because it's just their day that day. But we will be heading back into the game next. Esports will be coming in with a total of, I think they do not have an elimination yet, but the zone is coming smaller. The teams need to lock in and get those eliminations early. If not, it will be hurting them. Brothers SA will be taking a lot of damage, but they are surviving peak and heading toward Catalistiwa. That's just Bimasaki strip, sorry. But the fight coming down from Inosaki Strip is usually very dangerous because from way downhill they can see you. You could have a team hiding behind a abandoned truck there. It's just going to be quite chaotic, especially from them coming out from peak,
Oof.
taking this much damage already. Nem Jogo will be in a fight here, trying to get those snipes in. The wall's not letting it. Unfortunately, we can't see with the client room because we had like an update problem, but we will still be giving you the best that we can right about now. What team will be going down here? This man is landing. He might just be free elimination here. He will be getting eliminated, delivering Nem Jogo a free elim here, putting them up to 5 eliminations on the board. Nem Jogo are starting to pick up the pace here, but will they be able to ride this wave all the way to the end? The zone is getting smaller. It is still 38 players duking it out in this zone. Only 2 teams, if I'm not mistaken, have been eliminated so far. It is going to be chaos when we get to the final zone.
Honestly, chaos. That retail space is looking ever more slightly. And right now we're on the likes of LZ, RB. We see Dennis has gone down as well as Saspito. LZ joins the battle over there. Self Revive coming into play, but he isn't going to pull it off. And that is going to be the 3rd team to now get the dust over there. And we're down to 32 players. It's just like that, you know, we lose 5 players across the field in a matter of seconds. On the other side of things, we've got Haroi and the Nick High and Roro High going on a rotate, trying to get some long distance shots, but Complex is glued down in time. He's taking massive damage, so is Nick High, and now need to focus on zone as they take in massive damage.
Valor Esports trying to stay out of the crosshairs of the Outlaw Noobs. The current powerhouse team to watch out for is the Outlaws, as they are currently sitting on 14 eliminations. Aaron is putting off a masterclass performance to open up today's finals with 8 individual eliminations. He alone has more eliminations than a lot of the teams here in this matchup. It is still 29 players left to go. They still have a good chance to open up the day with a 20 bomb off rip.
Drax, Kenny, Aaron, Pinky rotating, and now we're looking at the zone, like where do you even move into? Player gets knocked, and that's Kenny doing the work, and we also see now going into this position a good elimination at hand and picking up so many eliminations. I mean, look at Aaron sitting on 8 eliminations alone, Kenny on 4, Drax on 4, Pinky on 2. The entire team's contributing to those kill counts.
They're currently sitting on 18 eliminations. They will be going for 19. They are definitely going to hit that 20 mark with game 1. That is definitely going to catapult them really high up the board to push them towards the 6,000 cash prize. Will they be able to maintain this momentum though? Starting off strong and instilling fear into the hearts of your opponent is a W strat, but can you maintain it? Because some people don't run away from fear, they run towards it.
Yeah.
All Stars will be down to a single player. It's not looking good. Hunter is also the last man for his team here. Can he line this snipe up? He sees the toes and luck from 68. He just needs to hit one more shot to get that elimination there.
Right now, Hunter being a rat player, but also still picking up some eliminations while doing so and connecting massive damages across the field. But Zone is going to pressurize him. He finds himself going on a vehicle, taking massive damage, gets eliminated. And we've got Curse, who's also deep in zone, trying to go dead side rotate. But what is a dead side rotate when the zones are taking you out as well? And we're down to 10 players. We got Brother SA sitting in a comfortable position where they have the height over the opponents looking down. But it's going to be a rotate for them to get into that space of a safe zone.
Unlucky for the Outlaw Noobs, they will be down to a single player. God, Aaron, running double snipers. Is he going to be able to get his team into that top 3 position? Because they have the eliminations, they have everything except the placement now. They just need to figure out a way to make it into the top 3, and that will definitely boost them up even more on the ratings. Vent Esports will be trying to pick up more eliminations as well. It is a bit slow, a bit of a slow start for them, but then Vent Esports is a team that usually starts off slow, find a momentum, and just keeps steamrolling. Most of the teams I've seen come consistently, so I kind of know what to expect from them. But a couple of them actually, surprisingly, I haven't seen them. Aaron will be taken out too, regardless from the Vent Esports team. That is an insane feat. especially coming from a solo player stuck in the zone. He's bad in the zone and a very, very strong team. Zone is doing a boatload of damage. He needs to find his way in. The zone is not in anyone's favor. 6 players remaining. 5 players will be remaining now. Who is going to take the map 1 victory? Fearless and Sons will be losing 1 player. Are they going to be getting back? He will be getting eliminated. JB and Lack in the last 2 standing. It is a 2v1 scenario. Who is the second opponent? Aaron will be getting eliminated. He rats his way to second place as Fearless and Sons take map 1. Outlaw Noobs will be placing second in this lobby.
Honestly, beautiful play and clutch coming out from Aaron over there. Not only clutch rap play, but he was picking up eliminations. I mean, look at that. 12 eliminations. It's more eliminations than the winners of the game just on a single player. That is absolutely ridiculous. There we got Habib, King Hydra, Supreme, and as well as Luyot as well coming in that 3rd place position with the couple eliminations at hand as well. But that was just game number 1. So much action was displayed over there, and as well as a good boo-ha coming out from, you say, Outlaw Noobs, right?
No, from Fearless and Sons.
Fearless and Sons, and a big GG to them. They finished 4th overall on the overall standings over the 5-week schedule. So to win game number 1 and as well as get a couple eliminations is going to be absolutely good for them. Crucial moments. But the thing about a 6-game format is consistency. And the thing about 6-game formats is we need to go into game number 2. So we're going to take a little bit of a short break. We'll be back with even more action. Welcome back to game number 2. And what a showcase of a talent and skill that was displayed in the games. But I think the MVP definitely is going to be Aaron, who managed to pick up 12 eliminations and as well as the second place for his team. He didn't only rat it out, he made sure to frag out. And that's exactly what you need from a player who has a double sniper rifle. But coming into the leaderboard, we've got Outlaw Noobs taking in first place over there with 25 eliminations, 25 points. Fearless and Sons coming in second with 8. Vent Esports in third with 9. Brothers SA in fourth with 7. Nomjugo in fifth with 6. Valo Esports in sixth with 3. Then looking at it, it is going to be a very competitive environment. You know, there's a lot more that can come out from the likes of Armageddon, All Stars Niger, ITEL Esports, FaZe, OP. Those guys need to put in a lot more if they want to find themselves sitting at the very top. There's still 5 games here, Zeno, that could be played out. What is the strategy if you haven't been doing good?
If you haven't been doing good, the strat will be to force those early fights. I know the start of the last game I said don't take early fights because you don't want to risk getting eliminated.
Yeah.
But you saw the precedent that the Outlaw Noobs have already set. They started off opening the gates swinging with 25 elimination is absolute insanity coming from them there. You do not want to try to play a bit slow or a bit carelessly to say, oh, I'm just going to try to get placement. Placement is not going to save this against a team that's putting up 25 in the first game. If they can play this consistently, they will definitely win the 6,000 rand. The other teams are definitely going to step up because I love when if one team drops 20, it becomes extremely hard for them to do because every other team is going to target that specific team to make sure they do not replicate that level of success because that is going to hurt everyone in the long run.
Let's see what that's going to be looking like. But game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, the top 12 teams competing here for that 12,000 juicy rands. Now, looking in at it, the playstyle that we did get to see from game number 1 was absolutely good. I just want to see the story continue being written over here, the aggression continue in the gameplays. But when we're looking over it, we can see it going from Crossroads all the way down to past the mill. So good distribution. Players are jumping extra late though, coming out from that plane. And we got Next Esports, Snipe, L2K, Ezio, Curse. They find themselves in an open area where not that much loot around.
Taking a look at the teams going into this game, Purgatory is a really big map, so I will not be expecting that much early battles. It is going to be quite some time before we find them going head to head. But let's see how the teams will react to this game. Because Purgatory, it's a very decisive map. You can't let someone escape because there's a lot of loot. As big as it is, there is a lot of loot to go around.
It is going to be good distribution of teams as well on the POIs. I don't think we've seen any action yet of Spawn coming in. Oh, I say that an RB, Dennis, and Suspito have been knocked out. Z left alone has a solo over here. So let's see what happens. Buybacks is going to be quite tough because the cost of that is going to be crazy.
Unlucky for Faz OP, they will be losing 3 players rather early into the game. But they're not the only team that have lost players though, because we're sitting at 41 players. That means 7 should have been eliminated. But at least 2 of the teams have taken heavy casualties. Hunter will be getting a lot, and I mean a lot of damage here. I think that should be the Armageddon team.
Could potentially be. I can also confirm if that is going to be Armageddon.
I think that should be Armageddon. They're the only ones without the tag there by the list we just got.
Larwick, Freddy, Phoenix, Darky, Attacker. I think so. Yeah, it is. It is going to be Armageddon.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so Aaron lost last time around. Absolutely crazy, phenomenal on amount of kills. 12 kills in total, and even picked up more than the Buha team in terms of elimination count.
Yes, their team put up 25 KP. I did the math when we were looking at first, second, third. That was absolute insanity on numbers. That the 25 was not from placement points. The placement points haven't been calculated yet. That is strictly KP alone. And they already coming out the gate swinging. Just coming out the wazoo, just absolutely setting the pace for everyone. Like, get on this level or get left behind. We do not want the situation. The other teams do not want a situation where they're just competing for second place, because it's not going to feel good knowing that there's just one team that's absolutely out fragging you. And you all play the same game. They're not playing. They're not doing anything different from you. You both fought for 5 weeks. You both made it all the way to the grand finals. Why are they absolutely dominating in the grand finals when you just have to compete for second place? But the Outlaw Noobs will take one loss from Pinky. They're still dealing with a 4K as a team. Aaron is picking up one to make it a 5K. They're still going pretty good for them, to be honest. Like, I'm trying to mentally keep track of how much eliminations they get. Not even the placement points, just the elimination points alone, because that is going to be an insanity. Fearless and Sons will be the first team to be getting eliminated, unfortunately for them. ITEL Esports as well will be with a single player. Next Esports will be picking up one L2K back in the game. They still need to get back Ezio and Curse, and it is going to be quite some time before they're able to do just that.
Let's see exactly what happens. But right now, we are seeing some action displayed over here with the NJ team coming in, but it does look like rotates are being played. Get closer to the opposition, managing to tag for 23 damage over there. Got the grenade launcher as well to get some damage in, and it is looking like a solo player who's left alone to handle 4 players on him, and unfortunately cannot happen. It is going to be the 6th or 7th elimination coming in for NJ right now. Let's look at what that means for them going forward. Will we be able to see a consistent gameplay in terms of placement as well as eliminations from the team?
Let's see how these players respond. Extreme Juniors will be sitting with 5 eliminations. They're doing pretty solidly. I didn't really pay attention to them in the last game because we didn't really see consistent fights. The only time we saw them, the first time we saw them, Sharon was getting knocked and brought back. Then they almost eliminated the All-Stars. But the next time we saw them, they got absolutely dominated by the Outlaw Noobs. Yep. Is that going to be the case in this game, or are they finally going to get their get back and send the Outlaw Noobs packing quite early? Because if they're able to do that, it is definitely going to help them secure a better spot on this table. Valor Esports will be going up against Armageddon, and they will be taking down Hunter. They will take down Darky as well. They take down a 3rd. Is that a team wipe?
Of Armageddon? It has to be. No?
Armageddon.
It is.
Unlucky for Armageddon. They will be the second team to be getting eliminated. Not looking good for them, because 2 games they've yet to pick up as many eliminations as would be necessary to keep them in a viable contention spot for the total of 12,000 grand prize.
I mean, you know what? It's only 2 games that they haven't really shown up to the party. You win the next 4 games, or you do consistently well in the next 4 games, and you can place yourself at least a top 4 to walk away with the prize money over there. So that could be essentially what could happen. But with the lack of gameplay and as well as endgame clutches coming in for Armageddon, we did see Hunter there in that endgame position as a solo, but he got taken out as he tried to rotate, and there was still so much placement points for the team to pick up, but unfortunately he couldn't just rat it out. It was a tough position for him. He tried getting on the motorcycle and found himself getting eliminated while attempting that. So right now Armageddon need to switch up on the idea of a prize pool and just play this like it would be a qualifier round. I think they're playing for the stake way too much, and it's putting in a lot of nerves into what they're capable of.
Exactly. That is where experience beats the experience just beats the general mindsets of being there, because some of them just have, I made it to the finals, I need to play slow. But if you're an experienced player, it's not gonna be something new to you. You've been here multiple times. You're not going to suddenly slow down and say you're not fighting because you don't want to lose. You don't want to get eliminated early and all that. That's why we're seeing Armageddon not put up a good performance. Because remember, every team here had to fight 5 weeks to make it to the spot. So you can't say one team is bad because they've been in their lobbies and they dominated to become the top 12 teams to compete for the grand prize. Are they going to be able to get this done, get out of their heads, and actually play the game, or will they just be that team that made it to the finals but choked because they just gave into the pressure?
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see exactly what the next chapters are gonna be for the likes of Armageddon. If they can rewrite the story that seems already written in the source. Let's see exactly what that means for them, what a change of style we're going to be experiencing coming out from these players right now. But the action has slowed down quite a bit. We have 39 players remaining in game number 2. And I think we've only had one confirmed team that has been eliminated from the lobby. Some good shots coming out from Deadshot right over there, connecting and dealing the damage across the board. And that means utilities on the opposition players are going to be used. And that's going to definitely put in some discomfort into that end game position over there. But right now, Deadshot, Gara, Mhari, and as well as Yox 6 is sitting comfortably, yes, in zone and just needing to heal. Deadshot quite low on HP and hopefully does have furthermore bandages and so forth in which he could use.
It's going pretty solidly on this side. Deadshot from R12 Esports will be getting eliminated by the zone. While his teammates are close for the pickup here, they need to figure out a way to get back into that ring early and pick up a lot of eliminations because they also a team that is currently not doing so hot in this finals.
Right now, we got Leonox taking long-range distance shots, managing to connect over there. And we also seen NB taking up a couple kill confirms in the kill feed. But right now, at distance, you got Ray, who's managed to do... That was some good shots. And through the trees as well, just connecting all of those were absolutely nice coming out from them. The team is sitting on 5 eliminations at hand, which is pretty much decent. And you can just see Leonox taking down a knock over there. I don't think he's able to confirm anything. He is, and he manages to pick up an Elim over there.
It is going pretty good for the Extreme Juniors team. They're sitting up to 6 eliminations. Honestly, I'm actually glad that they're doing pretty solidly here. Taking a look at Faz OP, they finally gotten the 3 of their teammates back into the game. So Spater is still yet to be revived. The zone is getting a lot smaller. The date that seems to be running past very quickly. That is unusual. But it is back-to-back action. So far, I think more than 2 teams should have been eliminated at this point. And it's going to be quite difficult to predict what teams are going to get the top place. So far, we have 5 teams eliminated. Almost half the lobby has been eliminated. Next Esports will be sitting with a total of 5 eliminations. Pretty solid numbers coming in, especially from a team that is relatively old, actually. Because I remember most of these players used to compete under the banner of, I think, Green Crushers. And now they're up to Next Esports. Like the development, being part of the community for so long, just let me see a lot of these players from when we all used to play open map 1v1s to straight just customs, guild wars, and now we've all developed into esports. I developed into a commentator, and they're the ones I'm commentating on. So 2 sides of the same coin. I'm always so proud seeing them just frag out. I wish I could still do it, but I just can't seem to keep up with the level at which the game is at right now. Good shots coming in. 2 shot out the sky here. Unlucky for these men here. Feeding 3 eliminations. Feels like an Amazon delivery is coming straight to the Extreme Juniors team.
That was honestly so beautiful. How they lined up that shot as well from the players in the sky was absolutely good. But right now, we've seen some good shots coming out from Sharon as well, managing to connect that 189 sniper shot. Unfortunately, no knock came from that. But right there, sitting on a 7 eliminations, good, comfortable setting for them. 23 players still remaining in the field right now. We got LZ looking to take some good shots at distance, good 112 connection, 116, and also coming in with third-party plays over here. Hasn't gotten a knock just yet, but it is upsetting the opposition plays over there. Sharon picking up a elimination on next, a snipe, and that's going to be good for them. We got LZ, RB, and Danas, who's finding themselves in a fighting position over here. Does look like Cespito, however, being eliminated is going to be an odd number to go into a fight with 3 against potential 4. They need to play this out safe, as there's still so much placement points that could potentially come into play for this team. Deadshot being a solo over here. We did see some great shots coming in from him at an earlier stage, but now being a solo, needing to rack this one out with 19 players still alive. Enzio, Curse as well, doing the same for their team, playing a duo squad. What could potentially come out from this? We'll have to wait and see. But the most likelihood of team to walk out comfortably is going to be Leonox, Ray, Xylo, and Sharon, as they look very good and comfortable right now. 167 connection from Sharon, and it does look like he has bird's eye view over 2 players over there. Gets the knock on Azen Vibes, and that's going to be so unfortunate. Going behind the glue over here is not going to be the play. You need to get natural coverage over here, and it's just not going to be the case, as Azen Timmy also finds down the knock play over here for the team. And so much eliminations are being tallied up for this team right over here.
The All-Stars seem to be on their last legs, if not fully eliminated here. Extreme Juniors have woken up and risen to the challenge of... Currently, they had been set by the Outlaw Noobs. Outlaw Noobs, on the other hand, are still slowly but surely racking up those eliminations, coming in with a total of... Wow. Wait. Ari, can you see the... Iro, can you see the map?
Yes.
Can you see the eliminations?
Yes, 19 kills.
That's more than 19. That's 22.
22, yeah.
They're already on 22. They are not coming into the finals with a sliver of mercy, as they are absolutely running everyone down. It is 9 players left. 2 full squads versus a solo. How does this play out? Do the Outlaw Noobs secure their second map victory? Or are we going to see a new team, which will be the Extreme Juniors, have a better chance of shutting them down? They catch a solo lacking. I thought Deadshot. Can he get at least one elimination, or is he just going to be fine with third place? Because I thought Esports didn't really put up that many eliminations in this game, so it's already not the best spot for them to be getting eliminated for second. Because to make the most, they need to get at least second, not third, in this lobby.
Right now, looking at this place, Leonox and as well as potential NB coming into these final moments is going to be the deciding factor for the Buha. And right now, it's about natural height and as well as natural cover, which is the strategy that is going to win the game over here. Kenny, Aaron, Drax, and Pinky have been consistent in eliminations, picking up 25 in game number 1, already sitting on 22 eliminations for game number 2. Just what is going to stop this team in terms of picking up eliminations? At this point, absolutely nothing. But Leonox, Ray, Xylo, Sharon coming through to this party over here is also showing up in terms of kills and as well as looking to potentially win this one. And it's just that rat play who's come in as a third placement, which is going to be Deadshot, who's managed to obviously do so well for his team with that third place position. Right now, what is the strategy that is going to win the team for these guys over here? We'll wait and see who has the patience, what the chess move is going to be coming out from these players. But with a couple more seconds on zone until it starts shrinking, it's all about the waiting game.
Zone is especially not in the favor of ITEL Esports, but in terms of natural cover, ITEL Esports will be getting eliminated, leaving us down with a 4v4. In terms of natural cover, oddly, Extreme Juniors are at a disadvantage. They have this building, but this building has way too many entries and way too many spots for grenades and people to just absolutely roll you. If the Outlaw Noobs play this perfectly, they will be able to just absolutely steamroll straight through this building and get a free squad elimination. But if the Extreme Juniors teams have a decent amount of landmines, they should be able to counteract that exact play, because that is usually what happens every time you're in Brasilia.
Let's see what this means for them. Aaron, Kenny, Leo, Rocks, what is the chat leaning towards? Who are you guys expecting to walk away with a boo-ha? I think, honestly, the positioning here for NB is absolutely crucial. They've managed to get on the height building where the Ito Esports are going to be sitting at. So it's all about now
It's Extreme
taking
Juniors.
them out, Extreme Juniors. So taking them out in this position over here, we'll have to wait and see. Drax goes in a window cover, and now you can see players using the glue, and that's good coming out from them. But Drax and all these teams now pushing in very aggressively. We can see some knocks coming in, and that is going to be a team wipe. A boo-ha coming out from NB as they managed to strategically win this. The skill that came in, the decision making that wanted for them, only getting Kenny knocked down in that position, but it was a good victory. We're sitting on 26 eliminations and a win. That is absolutely fantastic plays coming out. Leo Knox and them as well did really good in getting into that second place position. And then it was IT with Deadshot just coming in with that rap play. 0 eliminations, but third place is still going to be a W. And then we got Habib in 4th and 5th being Next Esports over there, or Next Type Easy on them. But man, like coming into this, NB is definitely showing up. They put in a lot of kills. I mean, we're already sitting at 40 plus kills on the second game.
51.
51 kills.
51 eliminations and 2 back-to-back wins. I don't know what NB did. I don't know if they paid off the other teams, but they are absolutely dominating this match, and they are not letting it slide. They're going very fast, very hard, very aggressive. Just like I predicted, that last zone, taking that building was a good choice when it was still a lot of teams. But it comes down to a 4v4, and especially in Purgatory, you need to take open space rather than natural cover. On every other map, you go for natural cover, but on this map, you need open space, because open space is what wins. Outlaw Luke absolutely controlled the outside. So as soon as Extreme Juniors came out, they just absolutely got demolished by preset landmines and just not even knowing what's around the corner. That was picture perfect end zone for the Outlaw Noobs. What will Match 3 have in store for us? Do not go anywhere. We will be loading up rather shortly. We will be back shortly.